Okay. It's been a heck of a week for me. Got the car fixed, spent a lot of money, about to spend a lot more money, I guess. Well, I got the care card, so I guess that will be $800 be spread out over the next 2 to 3 years, which is nice. Um, yes. So, um, 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 coronavirus is still on the warpath, and Donald Trump is drinking what exactly? And he claims it helps to prevent. It's a prevention. It's not a cure. It's a prevention or a resistance to catching the coronavirus. Right. And he says we're back. Once we start opening up the world, we're going to have Alaska and Alabama schools, and apparently only Alaska and Alabama schools opening up in the fall. I kind of wish they would open up the college so I can go back to work and make money so I can finish paying off my dad a hell of a lot sooner and then start paying off the bank a hell of a lot sooner. And then start saving up for my uh, vacations, retirements, and eventually death. Because apparently dying is very expensive. One thing I've learned from my brother's funeral and all subsequent funerals since I was 6. Shit gets expensive. Anyway, Shira, Princesses of Power. Season 4, 5, whatever, the final season. But I don't think it's going to be the final season. I think they're going to continue it up in the He-Man series where everyone's a bit older. It'd be nice. That's fine. And no one has any boobs, which I find rather annoying. Where it's like they did like a dream where everyone kind of is aged up like 3 to 5 years, and it's like, and no one has tits. Really? Wow, that's just stupid. Anywho, so what I think of the last season? Well, I've been having a dilly of a time trying to. There's a lot going for this series, or a decent amount, but there were just such dozens of little points at it where it's like, what are you thinking and why? Like I stated before, when I first did the first season, or first couple of seasons, was you have a couple come in, right? Arm in arm, right? You gonna do anything with them? Not a damn fucking thing. Are they gonna sit close to each other? Well, yeah, they sit next to each other at meetings, and well, nothing. We already established they're a couple. We don't need to say anything else. We are safe. There's no subplot episode about them. Nope. There's no lovely, coopy, baby banter. Nope. Do they even kiss? Not even fucking close. They don't look like they even are a couple. They're just like they're a bunch of friends like everyone else. And now they're saying, no, 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 we're totally a couple. We actually established ourselves as a couple. And it's like, oh, and by the way, we were married the entire time. What? You were married the entire time? I call bullshit on that. You guys stated that you were a couple at best. Married? What? And yeah, giving them their actual subplot and saying shit matters now when people start getting chipped and all that. Yeah, spoilers. And when they say we have to fight now, it's like, well, yes, now because shit now finally matters, and it's the last episode because it's in its own trope where it's like, sure, why not? Let's go all in because now it doesn't fucking matter because now we have nothing to lose. See, before they had a season where they say, well, we the people in charge don't like that, so we're canceling your show. As to now, it's like your show's already canceled. What does it matter? What is there to lose? So yeah, now they say couple. Now they say uh, what was I was thinking, what the hell are they going to do if I have the redemption for Catra, but what is there for their relationship? Is it going back to being best buds that are, and Catra being, uh, um, uh, I kind of like her being affectionate to Adora, At the same time, they don't make it really mean anything, which is frustrating beyond all belief. But I like the way they flirt, even when they're enemies. But I dislike the fact that it doesn't mean anything until now. Finally, the final season, where nothing matters because it doesn't, not going to lose anything. She finally says, "Not as I like her more than not as much as she likes me." It's like, oh, there they go. Now they're finally going to state feelings in this. It's like, what do you mean to me this entire fucking time? We've seen it since their introduction. Catra likes Adora. And then this whole shit started happening between them. And now at the final thing, it's like, yeah, I was in love with her the entire time because, that was my thing. But I'm just now starting to, admit it to myself. Or some BS like that. It's like, no, that's just you not caring anymore because now you have nothing left to lose, show. So then when Catra finally says that to Dora in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the show, and then Dora says, "Well, I love you too, and I've always loved you." In that way, then the power of love gives her the ability to save the day. Blah 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 blah, and then they move on. They kiss twice, and that's it. Which apparently is one more action than Legend of Korra did, which was just hold hands while we go off into the spirit realm. So at least they didn't middle of the road it in the last act or last shot, which is nice. So I guess they finally decided to do that from the pressure of the fandom saying stop fucking gay baiting us. Because they keep you set up these dynamics, but then there's no payoff because it's like, ooh, are they a couple? I guess we don't really show that. We don't really show the dynamic after that. We don't really do much with that. Let's play it safe. Let's dance around everything with nuance and all this other shit. Like in Lily Pete's channel, it goes in all this shit where it's like, just fucking say it. I love you. We are a couple. We are married. We are in a relationship. Other than, yeah, it's my pal. You know, you gotta give it more than that. Was I entertained through all of this? Yes, I was very entertained throughout the last series. Did I like all the character dynamics and new dynamics? Yes, we got characters that actually get to talk and have long discussions and interactions with other characters they don't normally associate with, which is nice. And tons of them. Everyone's talking to everybody else, so it's like their last chance to like talk to anyone, which is good. Which is good. Um, the overall plot was actually pretty good. You have the bigger villain. You have the realization that I believe if bothered to have given a little bit more time, that Hordak would have said, I originally stole, Adora, and started the Horde, was he wanted his own family because he's from a collective. He's like the Borg. He's alone, and now he wants a collective. So that's why he created the Horde and all that. And plus, he's still following his directives to dominate and take over, was still because that's what the Horde did. That's what Horde Prime did. So he just followed those lines of everything he knew, but he still wanted a family. So I believe that's what the flashback of seeing her as a baby in his arms was supposed to represent, is that he wanted a family. Uh, and I believe he would probably state, if he had more dialogue, was that he's kind of sorry for what he did. He's kind of more of a victim of his upbringing than anything else. And the fact that as much as he would probably still like to dominate, he feels he more likes Entrapta than anything else. And would kind of just say, I had to go at it. I'm not very good at it anyway, so why not just hang out with my gal pal instead. So that's good. That's at least reasonably implied. Um, or could be extrapolated from. And then having them kind of leave it open, saying they want to go on a space road trip to say that the Horde Prime has been destroyed. Sure, why not? And then pick it up in He-Man in the following series, and have them have a big crossover season or series. Be nice. I wouldn't mind that. One thing I dislike is the lack of femininity. Like the only real feminine character is the transgender or the unknown gender of Double Trouble. Everyone else kind of acts more like, well, the girls act like guys because they all have to be tough. We all got to be tough, and then the guys act like not gay. They act like pansies. Act like these over the top, devoted characters. Bo acts like anyone who actually has like an actual spine while being incredibly flamboyant, or at least dresses like one. But everyone else acts like they're in some sort of theater troupe. And it's like, you gotta do this. It's like, okay, that'd be nice if you were a kid or something, but you're a fucking adult, and you're an adult, and you're an adult, and you're an adult, and you're. It's like, what is with these characters acting like, well, overly ambitious drama students where they constantly emote and over proclamate? Because yeah, I do that too. I do that for my own, you know, entertainment. But these are people trying to impress others, and it's like that's not gonna impress the um the tomboys. That's not gonna work. It shouldn't work. But they still do it anyway. So that's just another gripe about the whole series where it's like, just fucking act like a man. But that's the thing, you can't have the male characters act like male characters, because then they'll say like, well, then why are the girls acting like guys? Then why can't any of the women act like them? Because that's where they raised the bar. None of the girls act like girls. You have people be obsessed over things, but everyone keeps acting like they're capable. There's overly, compensating where it's like, we are not fragile beings, we are warriors. It's like, it's okay, you can break down and cry too. It's alright. This shit ain't for everyone. You're in the middle of a war. Shit, you can break down. It's alright. But it's only when the stakes get personal do shit start to break down where it's like, oh fuck, this is really starting to get to me now. My wife is now being brainwashed. It's like, yeah. Then they come onto the waterworks a bit, or he starts to even barely approach that. And so it feels like it's okay to have the women act like women. It's okay. But, girl power, and we're not allowed to cry or act like girls and really any real feminists at all. Adora doesn't act like a girl. That's because she grew up in the military. That's okay. But it's like everybody else just doesn't. I know we're in a war. I know these people were raised to be tough, but for the love of God, it's like, it's okay to be your gender for 5 minutes. And to have tits. It's okay to have tits. But that's a lot of things in the new cartoons. It's like, nobody has tits. It's like, well, then what's the point in having you be a female and draw you as a female if you're not going to be looking like a female at all? It's like, isn't anyone here supposed to be developing? And some of you are adults. Shouldn't you at least have decent tits? Anybody? No, 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 no. Tits don't exist. No, because then people are going to compare themselves and say, well, I don't look like that. I'm not that hot, and therefore I gotta feel bad because that's why they play it so fucking safe. And it's like, look, the original Shira had at least great legs, and didn't wear boy shorts. I know that, or bicycle shorts, and I still found her pretty. I was 4 or 6 or whatever, but I care. But um, it's just to have all your female characters act more masculine is like, and have all of them act like that is really, really annoying. And have moments of weakness. But it's when it's really compacted on does it get that far that the tears and the emotions and the hard feelings start to get in to the point where you actually act like, you know, and it just gets annoying. It just kind of gets annoying. Anyway, that's how I see it. It's just, but there's so much still going for it. But now, as a whole series, it's horrifically annoying because they have setup with very little payoff, and now it's payoff because now they don't care, which is that final season thing trope. Um, like I said, overall, if you binge watch it, it's probably a decent watch. It'll probably teach you some things to be good at for character dynamics, especially forgiveness, which I like. It speaks about forgiveness. It isn't slapdash redemption, 22 minutes of being evil, and then the last minute it's like, okay, I'll just stop being a dick, and then the rest of the time's like, well, I'm not dick anymore. MLP still had what's her name, the brainwash lady. At least she would have bouts of returning, regressing back to her previous state. Um, but in this, it has this thing where it's like redemption isn't quite so slapdashery. In MLP, you have slapdash all over that place. Discord took forever to finally get over himself. I forget what her name is, but the brainwashing lady took less time and fewer episodes to do that in, but they kept redeeming and forgiving a lot of characters for basically being, you know, dictators and banishing people. Remember, they don't kill; they banish to the shadow dimension. Yeah, I know it's Power Rangers all over again. But yeah. Uh, so at least in this, they actually bother to take their time and say, let's parse this out. That when you have redemption, it isn't slapdash. It takes a little bit of time afterwards to slowly get into this thing, to grow into this new dynamic of redemption. You know, and that's nice. So redemption in this is nice. Um, but it's just to have Katra go through all this and say because I was hurt because I loved her all along is a little bit much. It's like you two didn't bother to express the feelings that you might have loved each other beforehand, kind of more in that way at any other fucking point before now. Oh no, no, we were still put each other clearly in the friend zone. I didn't realize how much I loved her until afterwards. Like, oh. You're sleeping at the foot of her bed, you're nuzzling at her, and all the dancing and the foreplay while you're enemies. It's like, what the fuck else would you call that? If not horrifically how many enemies flirt with each other? Seriously. So yeah. So I recommend it, not all of it, but I do recommend enough for an entertaining watch and at least getting what it gets right, it gets right. And when it gets wrong, it gets kind of sort of wrong and kind of just again, it plays it safe for the first few seasons where it tap dances around the character dynamics of the more serious relationships, as opposed to the final season. So yeah, we're married. They just say that so blatantly. We're married. We're in a relationship. It's like really? Cause I thought you two were just dating for the past like 3 seasons. Now suddenly you're saying you're married this entire time. Oh yeah, we're not just best buds. We've been in love since the beginning, but we're just now like bothering to say that. It's like you were in love this entire. It's like again, say you loved each other. Say you're married. It's okay. And have the dads be, Bert and Ernie. It's fine. I don't give a shit about their marital status. For all I know, they could just be roommates. It said like two guys, like was it like three guys and a baby? They're not in a love relationship triangle or threesome. They're just three guys raising this kid. So they could be like that for all I care or know, and that's okay. You know, that doesn't have to be explained. It's just we're here. We raise these guys. We have a good dynamic. Boom, done. Okay. You know, and I know it sounds stupid having me say that, but quite frankly, I don't really care for the parent characters because it's really kind of annoying. And quite frankly, you could have more than one type of character, parent dynamic, and have it still be you could still raise a child. You could still be best buds, friends, partners, be friends, and still raise a child. It's okay. They don't have to be in a love relationship to raise Bo. It doesn't have to be. So quite frankly, either way, I really don't care. But it's just say something. You know, when you leave shit up into vagueness, it's like, no, you're not trying to be coy or, you know, not insightful, but like deep or whatever, or anything else. You're just playing it safe for you to still have this show because you're afraid to commit to anything so your show doesn't get canceled before the final season, and then you'll go all in. Anyway, so yes, it's a good show. I recommend it. We still got a few more months left of this whole thing before things start to rev up, and then we'll see how things go with this virus. So, get your last binging in while you still can, kids, because I think a lot of you will be going back at school in the fall. See ya.